another video. I hope y'all was waiting for me. I hope y'all missed me, This is just something that I wanted to talk to y'all about, is when to wean your child off of your breast. I got some good tips, and I'll also give y'all my story, because my story it's a little wild. I ain't gonna lie, it's very different. So for me per se, weaning my child off of my breast was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do in my life. I honestly wanted to wean him off when he hit 1. I breastfed my child up until maybe like 15 months. Was it 15 months? I would say about 15 months is when he was breastfeeding to. His doctor told me that I should breastfeed him up to 15 months. She said, I want you to breastfeed him up until 15 months, and then once he gets to 15 months, you can go ahead and wean him off. And my child had a lot of allergies, so I felt like I was doing the right thing by breastfeeding him until he was 15 months. I was listening to the doctor when the doctor told me to breastfeed him until when he was 15 months. Y'all, that was the worst. And I'm not trying to say it's like super bad, but you gotta think your child is getting older. They're more cognizant, and they're very clingy to mommy because you are breastfeeding them, and they are dependent on your milk. So they want you. It's hard for people to watch them because they start to yearn for mommy and her milk. They want to choose you over being with anyone else. And it was just getting extremely hard. Like, no one barely wanted to watch my son because he was a breastfed baby. And once they get to 1 year old, they start to get demanding, and they know who is and who isn't. And yeah, it was a little bad. So my story, I went on down to Atlanta to visit my friends. I went for my friend's 30th birthday. She's turning dirty 30, we was turning up. We was having a get out time. But I brought my son with me because they wanted to see my son. A lot of my friends down there didn't get to meet my son yet, so they were like, go ahead and bring him on down. We about to meet him. We about to have a good time. I went to go visit, and this is his godmom who was turning 30. So I went down there and brought him. And they realized how bad it was because my son wanted to breastfeed all day, every day. We were out and whenever he wanted to, because especially with COVID happening, I'm in the house, I'm on demand. He can get it on tap whenever he wanted. He can get the breast milk on tap whenever he wanted to. So us being out in public was a little too much for him because he couldn't really just get my breast on tap, especially when I had to do things. And it got to a point when we went to the nail salon. And we're in the nail salon. I fed him before we went into the nail salon, but he wanted to still be on my breast and suckle away as if he is a daggone 4 or 5 month year old, you know what I mean? Because at that time he's teething, he's using me for comfort, and he wants to just snack away. And just having my breast in his mouth just to get his milk was comforting to him as he's in this uncomfortable stage of teething. But we were in the nail salon, and it got really, really bad, and he yelled so loud and caused the whole scene. The whole nail salon was looking at us, and the people basically wanted to kick me out. And they said, girl, get out, you got to go. And I'm like, y'all ain't got no children at home, but everybody looking at me like, girl, our children don't act like that. My friend was very upset though because she breastfed, so she understood completely like how it could be. So after we had left, I was very embarrassed in a sense because everybody was looking at me. I could barely finish getting my nails done. They didn't even want to finish doing my nails for real. But that nail salon was actually very rude as well. I feel like you should understand when somebody is a mother and when they have a child and how to treat them and how to act. They didn't act that way. They were very, very rude. But anywho, and I ain't about to shout them out, but this was Atlanta, Georgia. So we left. My friends, they was realizing how bad it was. We got into the house. My friend whose birthday it was, she came in and she took Messiah, and which is my son, she tried to put him to sleep. He would not fall asleep. He would not go to sleep. He just wanted me. He didn't want nobody else. And he wanted my breast milk. And they was like, like, we ain't about to keep doing this, because they noticed how tired I was, and I'm starting my business, and it was just a lot. So I was trying to do a photo shoot for my business at night when I put him to sleep. He kept waking up, and he kept wanting to be breastfed, and it was bad. So my friends, they realized, they said, something not right. So because I was down there for like a good week, one of my good friends, she took my son for 2 days, 2.5 days. My other friend took me. They said, all right, Shalay, I want you to leave your son with me for 2.5 days. Mind you, she's the one who already breastfed her child and had to wean her child off too. Her family had to do the same thing for her that she's about to do for me. And y'all, I was so emotional because I didn't have nobody to really do that for me. Even when I'm at home, nobody wanted to do that for me. Nobody wanted to help me wean my son off of my breast. Nobody wanted to do any of that. They just was like, here you go, take your child. He hungry, here. You know what I mean? So I go down there, she takes my son for 2 days. I go with my friend for 2 days. I broke down after 24 hours. That was the longest I've ever been away from my son. I broke down crying because I missed him so much. It was supposed to be a full 3 days that she had him. I couldn't wait that long. I was out for maybe 2 nights, and then by the third night, I was supposed to be out the next night too. By that night came, I said, I gotta go get my son. Like, I can't be out. Like, I need to go see my baby. So I ended up going, but when I had went back to him, he didn't need my breast anymore. Like, I thought he was just gonna crash, burn, and die without my breast milk. I swear I did. I was like, my baby just gonna die. How he gonna eat? Is he gonna be okay? Now, don't get me wrong, he did lose a lot of weight. And he lost a lot of weight because he's so used to supplementing his meals with my milk. And when he's not getting your fat from the breast milk, your child's gonna drop some weight. You know what I mean? So that happens. I get back and I'm like, oh, my baby's so tiny. He's just so small. Like, I could tell he's not on the breast milk. And as a mom, even though he was without me for 2.5 days with no breast milk, he was just fine because he didn't see me. If I was there, he would have broke out crying. He would have been trying the most just to get my breast milk and causing a whole scene because he sees that I'm there. When I wasn't there, my friend said he only had 1 meltdown. And since he did not see me, he was not looking for the breast milk. You know what I mean? So for me, on the other hand, it was hard because my breasts were super, super hard and engorged. And I was literally out at the club. I had to keep going to the bathroom and squeezing my breast out, squeezing the milk out, girl. I looked like I had Dolly Parton titties, okay? I was looking, I ain't gonna lie, y'all, them things looking nice. Those things was looking good. Stupid. But yeah, so I had the Dolly Partons, y'all. And I was looking kind of good, though, I ain't gonna lie. But it hurt. It hurt like I don't know what. So by the time I got to my son, she had a pump in there, so I went ahead and pumped like once. And then after I did that, I didn't really have to pump anymore. After I pumped, when I got back to her, I didn't really have to pump anymore. And my boobs kind of just settled. So it settled, and it was like the milk settled because after not breastfeeding for 3 days and pumping aggressively for 3 days, the milk started to settle down and dry up, I guess. If it does dry up, it started to dry up. And when I got back to him, he did not need my breast. Of course, he would have loved to have it, but since he went so long, because when I first got back to him, I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll breastfeed him for like, once a day. I did not have to do that, like, at all. When you get back to your child after being gone for them and they don't got no breast milk for 3-4 days, why would you go and breastfeed your child? Your child was without it for 3-4 days, or 2 days. It was 2 days for me. He was without it for 2 days and he was still alive. Let's keep going. I tried to give him some oat milk. He didn't like that. I did actually pump. So some of the milk that I had pumped while I was away, I tried to give that to him in a bottle. He didn't want that. It was a comfort thing for him. He did not want my breast milk. He just wanted to comfort. So that showed me right then and there that he did not need it. He did not need it to sustain him. I thought he needed it to sustain him, so I was letting him get away with murder, with continuously being on my breast, because he wanted that comfort from mommy and to make himself feel better. So that's a takeaway. Your child does not need your breast milk. Probably after 1 year, even before then. So this goes into my recommendation on when to wean your child. honestly, when I have my next child, I probably will not let them breastfeed past 6, 7 months. Once they get to 6 months, once they can start solid foods, once they can start eating their own foods, it ain't no point. It ain't no point. Once you get your breast, maybe like I said, 6 months, they start eating food. What, like 5, 6, 7 months? I don't even remember when my son started eating his food. But once they start eating food, y'all, you can calm it on down. If you are in the house, pump a bottle, give your child that milk. If your child don't want to take it, it is what it is. That shows you right then and there. If they don't want to take it from a bottle, they are literally using you for comfort, and that is a problem. So start weaning your child at 6, 7 months so that they do not get too attached, and that you don't have a daggone monster of a 1-year-old or 15-month-old that don't want to let go, that you gotta leave for some days in order to escape breastfeeding them. You know what I mean? And at least try to bottle feed your child with your breast milk like 1 to 2 times a day, even if you are at home. Because I promise you, if you don't do that, they are going to be stuck on your boobs. It's going to be so hard to let go. To this day, my son is 19 months old right now. He still be over here trying to go to my boobs. I'm like, oh hell no. We passed that, boo. We ain't never going back. We ain't never going back. But that's it for me, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. If you haven't watched my top 10 breastfeeding tips for new moms, new black moms, watch it there. Subscribe, and we got this. Bye, y'all. Talk to you soon.